I would never want my daughter to date a black man due to the fact that they have this weird obsession with humbling black women instead of putting them in positions to be humble. And then due to the fact that a significant amount of them just genuinely don't like black women, and I don't understand why they don't accept that. And then in addition to all of that to deal with, I understand and I recognize and I'm able to acknowledge the fact that when black women date outside of their race, they're typically treated way better from my experience and from what I've saw in life. They typically don't have problems with other women. They're typically well taken care of. They're typically well provided for. And that is the life that I want for my daughter if I was to ever have one. But that's just me.
I mean, like you said, that's just him. I mean, in general, I'm assuming he's black. I'm black. I don't act like the men that he's talking about. I mean, some men do, but of course he don't act like that either. So we're two examples of, I guess, of what he's happened to see, been unlucky to see is majority, you know, that type of behavior towards black women from black men. But I wouldn't say like put that on the whole, you know what I mean? No, but we've seen situations like we've seen situations to where, you know, we've seen black men dating white women and white women dating black men and them killing each other, and black men and black women, just men and women in general, vice versa, whether it's a white man or in a black one. We've seen white men degrade the black women that they married, call them the N-word, all types of stuff. So we see it from all sides. Social media has allowed us to put everything on kind of a level playing field. But him being black, of course, he's going to see a majority of his own, you know, when something happens with the, you know, in the black community, it's usually blown up on social media because we're allowed us to speak about anything most of the time, right? And then if you look in his comments, I'll put his TikTok below. If you look in his comments, there's a lot of black women agreeing with him. So I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Well, I mean, hey, there's going to be no more black women for us to date because they're all dating outside their race. So sorry, there's women that go, I want my son to date a black woman. He got to date a black woman. If it's not a black woman, I don't want no other color up in his house. Well, sorry, because those black women are dating outside their race. There's no more left to, like, you know, passport bro type stuff. Isn't that name's going to dissolve, and it's just going to become a part of the regular dating pool. The dating pool is expanded to outside the states. Well, that's just like that's a different conversation talking about American women. But at the same time, it's just, you know, different ethnicities or whatever. Hey, black moms, be prepared to see more mixed babies. I don't have a problem with that. But I guess, you know, other people that would not agree with him. So, hey.
I'm sorry, but my son will not be dating a black girl. He will not. Because yesterday we went to Six Flags, and when I tell you the pure level of disgust that I saw in these black girls that you independent queens are raising is purely disgusting and disturbing. I literally left early because my kids was looking like, what the hell is going on? And this is in the Bay Area, California. These girls, all of them unsupervised, in packs,
Shout out to the Bay, that's the hometown.
Supervised. No supervision, just running amok in the theme park. Multiple fucking fights break out, multiple. And I'm just like, okay, the police had to start patrolling the park because these little bitches couldn't keep their hands to themselves. One little bitch about 12 years old talking about Jeremy, his small anyway, don't want to meet me. What do you mean it's small anyway? Girl, you are 12 to 13 years old. And then these other girls like, oh, boo, boo.
You just said every cuss word you blur out the D word.
Boo. And these dudes are like, y'all are hella chopped. It wasn't even the black boys. It was the girls. The girls was fighting multiple fucking fights. Fucking parking lot shut down from them little motherfuckers fighting. And then this white lady asked her not to talk like that. Her and her friends trying to fight the white lady. I'm like, just no self-respect, no home training. And I see why. And I seen a lot of, when I seen the black boys with the white girls coupled up looking cute, I seen the Mexican kids, I seen the Asian. Only ones outside acting a ass was the black girls. And I'm specifically saying black girls. There was no black boys acting the ass. It was the black girl. Oh, that bitch, she bumped into me. You are 16 years old. Calm down. When I tell you, you bitches are raising little miniature single baby mamas, that's what the y'all raising. Because them little motherfuckers don't respect themselves. They don't respect nobody else. The fact that multiple of you have went out and found my address and my location to cause harm to my children.
And just black people calling each other out from all sides, huh?
For saying the unruly behavior of the black girls that I witnessed at the Six Flags theme park is beyond me. The amount of black women in my inbox calling my kids ugly, making fun of my son, doing all these things just kind of proves my point. Because at the end of the day, it's like, so you saying my son is ugly, you calling my daughters ugly, you calling them B-words, you're calling them nappy-headed, you're calling them all these things because I gave you examples. I gave you facts of the behaviors that the children at the park were exerting. I didn't make up the behaviors. This is actually what happens. So you guys are saying that I am putting down black women, that I am misjudging them, that I am doing this, and the fifth, when all I did was tell you the behaviors that we saw. The police had to pat my children down. The police had to look in my purse because they snuck weapons in. They were fighting each other. And so, yes, I was very upset. I was very upset because we drove 2 hours out. You guys say, oh, I'm sorry you live in the hood. No, we drove 2 hours out because my kids wanted to go to Fright Fest. So it was a big culture shock. But for you guys to inbox me and to inbox other people my address and things like that all over a video that had nothing to do with your own children or nothing to do with you in general, because I'm saying as a whole we all need to do better, is ridiculous. And another thing, it is a typical black woman to say that my son will be gay. Every time a man doesn't agree with a woman, oh, he's gay. He's gay. Oh, her son's gonna be with the man. He's gay. He's gay. So all the he's gay comments because he's 11 will definitely be, you know, you'll be blocked for sure. And on top of that, it's kind of like, I tell you guys that a 12-year-old girl was talking about penis size. That's fine. Kids will be kids. But then you sit here.
Y'all got to figure out what to do with this, the gay stuff, using it. You're like, women love gay men, but they still use it as a slur. Like you use it against kids and everything. Oh, he's gay. Like you'll use it as a diss. Even gay people would do that. They'd be like, you gay, you know it. You know, people don't, you know, people, they use it as a diss themselves because they know what people will say about it. Like, we got to stop that. Like, what's going on? You just call everybody gay.
And call my son gay. How does that make sense? A grown woman condemning me for saying these things about another child, and then you come on my page and call my child gay. I do want to take a moment to apologize for my statements in my video earlier about how my son wouldn't date a black girl. I do want to apologize about that because I didn't realize that people just accept the behaviors of black girls that I find impulsive, I find disgusting, and I find disturbing. So I do want to take a moment to apologize for that. If that is the behaviors that you guys accept, then that is the behavior that you guys accept. And I should not be judging people.
Now, just real quick, I'm assuming she's black. I'm assuming, because I did go into her live and I said, you need to get yourself some guns if somebody's going to run up on you like that, talking about your address. And somebody actually kind of said they know the area she lives in and kind of put it out there. And I told her, I said, man, you better get some guns. Oh, they said, we have multiple. Try it. So don't run up on her. You will get popped. But at the same time, like I said, I'm assuming she's black, right? So there's black women that are more like her that hopefully your son will be interacting with and doesn't pick the ones that you've seen at the park wilding out. You know, of course, it's not the whole demographic of black women. Like, you're black. You know what I mean? I'm black. Like, not all of us are like that. You know, like I said, we call out the behavior that allowed us when we do, just like her. You know, when somebody says all men or all women, they're usually just, that's a sting to the video. You know, that's the hook. All of us. No, it ain't. Write an angry comment. You know what I mean? But no, it's not the whole thing. She's just saying in general. But no, I'm not going to sit up here and put that on the whole demographic of black women.
For what they believe in. You know, if you believe that they were okay in that behavior, then that is okay. And that's what you expect.
What she's saying about the behavior, I agree with her. The behavior is crazy. It's sick as hell. But at the same time, I'm not. It sounds just very aggressive. You know, it's just the way the message is coming off is just almost, you know, she's literally talking about them in the way that they were talking at the park. So a little puckety puck, mother, this bitch right here. Like, goddamn, you turned into what you said you hate.
Except, I mean, me personally, when I saw 4 girls trying to jump a white woman for her asking them not to say PUSSY and DICK in front of her kid, and, you know, they're like 5 and 7-year-old girls, I personally feel like that was wrong. But again, you guys said that that's kids being kids, and that is fine. I've gotten a lot of backlash, and you know what? At the end of the day, if that's the way y'all are raising y'all kids and y'all feel like y'all kids can act that way, I am not one to judge.
I mean, I agree with her, because we see it in videos all the time. And most of the time it is called out by more than just her. Y'all just decided to jump on her because she's popular. Just like the first dude that we just saw talking about, I don't want my daughter to date a black man. I went back in I didn't see no apology. Maybe I missed the apology video, or maybe he received some type of I didn't see that much backlash for him. Is women going to be against you, or are they going to agree with you? You know what I mean? The first thing I see in his comments is women agreeing with him. In her comments, you know, I guess, you know, some people were agreeing and disagreeing, but the people that disagreed the hardest, I'm not going to say, I don't think there was any I don't know, I could be wrong. I don't think there was any black men that were trying to figure out her address, because I've seen plenty of times women pull up to other women's houses and get busy.
And again, my words, when I was saying it, I was very upset because of what I saw. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that my son wouldn't date a black girl. It's more or less like those type of black girls I would steer my son away from. And yes, I do give him guidance, and his dad does give him guidance to not put up with disrespect. You know what I mean? If a girl is going to be loud and disrespectful and fighting and a hooligan and all this other stuff, you don't deal with those type of girls, like, at all. So again, I think that the way that I viewed this younger generation, I guess I didn't have a clear understanding of it. But now that you guys have told me in multiple videos that I was wrong for calling them BITCHs and saying that they were, and was wrong for calling them HOEs, for basically talking about penises and, you know, having sex and all this other stuff at 12 years old, I guess, you know, I just wasn't aware that that was okay in the community. You know what I mean? So I do apologize for that.
That goes on in the hood, a daily thing since I was little, since I was a kid. You seen it in the 90s, the early 2000s, even in the 80s, kids. And if you go to certain environments, you're going to hear little kids as 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, even 5-year-olds cussing. Their parents let them say anything they want to. Walk down to the corner store, they up there cussing at everybody. I don't know if she grew up in the suburb, whatever. She's talking about a culture shock and all this other stuff. I have no idea. She's in the Bay. I don't know if she's from the Bay, but at the same time, she went to Fright Fest. Fright Fest has always been the most ghettoest hood. It's been, Fright Fest has been terrible. You go to Fright Fest at any theme park, it's gonna be fights. There's people that have been stabbed, fights in the parking lot. She ain't described nothing but a regular old Fright Fest. That's Fright Fest on a regular night. You go, you're gonna see fights. You go, oh. So this is probably her first time at a Fright Fest seeing crazy shit like that. So hey, that's just takes a Fright Fest. I would never make a video going, oh, black people do this, black people do that. But I'm like, man, you went to Fright Fest? Oh, what you doing there? Yeah, that's Fright Fest. You gonna see that it's wrong, it's not right, but hey, that's what goes on at Fright Fest. Bullshit, ghetto, get on this. You know what I mean? But hey, she ain't going back to Fright Fest. I ain't been to Fright Fest in however long, since high school or something like that. It's sometime after high school. And Fright Fest, if you go to Fright Fest, you know it's pretty much Fight Fest. That's all you're going to get is scraps. If you don't get into one, you're going to see at least 5. If you don't see one in the park, you're going to see 10 outside in the parking lot when you leave. You know what I mean? So, hey, she's just getting her taste of Fright Fest.